We've got a new camera, so if you've got the bandwidth, click the gear icon in the corner of the video player, select your preferred quality, and enjoy the video in HD. I'm Tom Johnson of Thomas Johnson Antique Furniture Restoration in Gorham, Maine. This is a pedestal from a dining room table. It's not an antique. It's very nicely carved though, great carvings. And what has happened is that a dog has chewed off the center claw on the ball and clawfoot. So I'm going to plane this down flat. I may have to do two pieces of wood at two different angles. Glue new wood on and then carve down a new toe, of course to match the original. First I'm going to clamp the pedestal down to the bench. I'm going to clamp right here, right past the foot. I want to put some wood under it to give a little support. I want to plane off the shredded wood on the toe. I don't want to hit the ball. I think I'm probably going to end up planing in two places and putting on two pieces of wood. I'm going to start bringing the plane. I'm going to start dropping the back of the plane a little bit. I'm getting a pretty good flat surface here. I'm going to drop it and see if I can bring it right to that ball. I got a good flat surface here, but my initial planing I dropped off here a little bit. I'm thinking I'm going to glue a small piece of wood there. And I've also got a problem on this side of the toe where I can't plane right now. I'm thinking of chiseling that off and gluing a small piece of wood there. And then tomorrow, then planing this again to get the whole surface flat and gluing a larger piece on top. Okay, let me get some mahogany. I'm not sure exactly what kind of wood this is, but it's got to be in the mahogany family, and I'll use mahogany because of the color that I'm ultimately going for anyway. Now, before I attempt to plane this again, I'm going to try to chisel away as much of the excess wood that I can. Alright, so now I'm ready to start carving, although the first step is to cut away, carefully cut away, all the excess wood that I can with a saw. The thing to be most careful here is, at this stage, is not to cut away too much wood. I had oiled up that contour gauge, and that's just traces of the oil, but it's actually giving me a good visual. So now at this point I've sawn away as much as I can, and so I'm just going to start whittling away, first with regular chisels, and then I'll get out the carving tools and try to carefully shape this down. Okay, I've sanded my carving up to 150, and now I'm going to apply some stain. I'm going to start off with some oil stain. My new wood looks pretty good. The original wood, which is lighter, I'm going to apply a little dye stain to that selectively. Now I'm going to give it a couple coats of shellac. Now my stain on my new area and stuff looked pretty good when it was wet. As it dries, it looks a little duller. I'm going to sand it. I have 2 coats of shellac on here. I'm going to sand it with 500 grit paper. And then actually I'm going to tone it a little bit with some golden oak toner because we've got a lot of yellow going on here. And then I'm just going to build up coats of gloss lacquer. Okay, so I've sprayed a coat of satin lacquer on all my touch-up work, and now I'm just going to go over the whole pedestal with my beeswax polish. Alright, there you go, this pedestal. It was chewed up by dogs in quite a few places, but the worst place was here on this big toe. If you remember, I scarfed on a piece of wood, actually a few different pieces of wood, and carved it down. So there it is. I think it looks pretty good.